Title: Murray-Darling Basin Plan to face review after a decade. The Murray-Darling Basin Authority (MDBA) has announced a review of the basin plan for the first time in a decade. The chair of the MDBA, Sir Angus Houston, has unveiled a roadmap to guide the review that will focus on climate change, sustainable water limits, First Nations connections to the basin, and regulation changes. Sir Angus warns that climate change could cause a 20 to 30% decrease in future river inflows, leading to less water for irrigators and the environment. The review, to be delivered in 2026, will investigate options to recognize and support desired outcomes from First Nations communities. Title: Surge in youth burglaries and car thefts in Victoria alarms officials. Youth crime in Victoria has surged as figures reveal a sharp increase in burglaries and car thefts committed by youths aged 10 to 17. The overall crime rate in Victoria has increased by 3.5% in the 12 months to March, with young burglars driving a 30% rise in the number of aggravated burglaries. Police have arrested over 200 burglars and car thieves in the past 3 months alone, as part of a Melbourne-wide operation. Officials are urging the public to lock their doors, gates, and windows, as well as calling for more intensive operations to combat youth crime. Title: South Australia's 2023 Budget, Health, Cost of Living, and Housing in Focus. The South Australian Government's second budget for 2023-24 focuses on 3 significant areas: health, cost of living, and housing. With a clear focus on delivering on the pledge to fix the ramping crisis, the government is pouring billions of extra dollars into the health system to help ambulances reach South Australians when they desperately need them. While cost of living relief measures are largely targeted at those doing it toughest, the housing measures assume people are in a position to save a 2% deposit as rents continue to soar. The budget has offerings in these areas, but not everyone who is struggling will benefit. Title: Devastating Panama TR4 banana disease spreads to 8th Queensland plantation. The Australian banana industry has confirmed that the destructive Panama tropical race 4 (TR4) banana disease has been detected on an 8th property in the Tully Valley, Queensland. The fungus is incurable and survives in soil, meaning that infected areas can no longer grow most banana types, including the popular Cavendish variety. Biosecurity measures have slowed the disease's spread, but banana trees on infected properties must be destroyed. Queensland's Department of Agriculture and Fisheries is trialling a more palatable version of the Goldfinger banana, which has resistance to the disease, to offer growers another option as the disease potentially spreads further. Title: Hundreds feared dead in migrant boat sinking off Greece. Hundreds of people are feared dead after a migrant boat sank off the coast of Greece. Rescuers saved 104 passengers and recovered 79 bodies, but hundreds more are believed to have been on board. The boat was reportedly traveling from Libya to Italy when its engine cut out and it capsized. Efforts by Greek Coast Guard ships and merchant vessels to assist the boat were repeatedly rebuffed, with those on board insisting they wanted to continue to Italy. The tragedy highlights the need for safe and regular pathways for migration and a robust and predictable search and rescue regime in the central Mediterranean. Source: Title: Hong Kong's Glory to Hong Kong protest anthem removed from streaming services. Various versions of the pro-democracy protest anthem, Glory to Hong Kong, have disappeared from music streaming services, including Apple's iTunes Store and Spotify, after the city's government sought an injunction banning the song. The song was the unofficial anthem of Hong Kong's 2019 pro-democracy street protests and has been banned from Hong Kong schools since 2020 after China imposed a national security law, which critics say has eroded the territory's freedoms. The government seeks to ban performing and disseminating the song, including online, its melody, lyrics, and any adaptations. The application for an interim injunction will be heard by the High Court on July 21. Blues superstar Latrell Mitchell ruled out of must-win State of Origin clash. New South Wales' hopes of keeping the State of Origin series alive have been dealt a blow with the news that centre Latrell Mitchell has been ruled out of tonight's must-win clash against Queensland. Mitchell, who missed the series opener due to a calf injury, aggravated the same injury during training earlier this week and has been forced to withdraw from the team. His absence is a significant setback for the Blues, who are looking to bounce back from a heartbreaking defeat in Game 1. Stephen Crichton has been called in to replace Mitchell in the starting lineup. Title: Ski lifts open as snowfall finally arrives at Victoria's Alpine Resorts. After a slow start to the ski season, Victoria's Alpine Resorts have finally received generous dumpings of snow. Mount Hotham has a 33 cm snow base, while Falls Creek has received 36 cm of snow. The resorts were unable to operate their ski lifts last weekend due to a lack of snow. However, with significant snowfall over the past week, the team has worked hard to get the mountain ready. Ski schools and lessons are scheduled to operate at Mount Hotham and Falls Creek this weekend. Another 45 cm of snow is expected to hit the resorts from Sunday. Bill Cosby sued by 9 women in Nevada for alleged sexual assaults. 9 more women have sued Bill Cosby for sexual assault, alleging that he used his enormous power, fame, and prestige to victimize them. The lawsuit claims that the women were individually drugged and assaulted between approximately 1979 and 1992 in Las Vegas, Reno and Lake Tahoe homes, dressing rooms and hotels. Cosby has been accused of rape, sexual assault and sexual harassment by more than 60 women. He has denied all allegations involving sex crimes. Cosby was tried and convicted in 2018 on sex assault charges and spent nearly 3 years at a state prison near Philadelphia before a higher court threw out the conviction and released him in 2021. Title: UK Parliamentary Committee accuses Boris Johnson of deliberately misleading the House over COVID-19 lockdown parties. Description: Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been accused of deliberately misleading the UK Parliament over COVID-19 lockdown parties in a damning report published by a parliamentary committee. The report found that Mr. Johnson had knowledge of breaches in COVID-19 rules and guidance that occurred in Number 10 and was deliberately disingenuous in statements to the House. The report recommended a suspension from the House for 90 days, but Mr. Johnson will not be subject to that sanction as he stepped down as an MP in the days before the report's release. Hashtags. Title: Steve Smith cleared to play in Ashes series opener after finger injury scare. After taking a hit to his gloves during training, Steve Smith has been cleared to play in the first test of the Ashes series, starting on Friday night. The star Australian batter feels confident in his abilities and hopes to improve upon his Bradman-esque 2019 series, during which he averaged over 100 runs per game. While England is expected to have new tactics for Smith, including the use of a leg slip, he remains unfazed and ready to adapt on the go. Follow the live blog and radio coverage of the Ashes tests on ABC Sport. Champion yachtsman and wine boss Sir James Hardie dies aged 90. South Australia's renowned yachtsman, winemaker and businessman Sir James Hardie has passed away at the age of 90. He was part of the first team to win the America's Cup from the United States and was known as Gentleman Jim for his sporting achievements and philanthropy. Sir James was also a successful businessman, leading the family wine company Hardies before it was taken over by Accolade in 2003. He received a knighthood in 1981 for his contributions to yachting, and his legacy is celebrated by the broader Australian sports community. Sir James is survived by his wife, 2 sons, brother, and sister. Police charge senior Indian government MP with sexual harassment of female wrestlers. Indian police have filed charges of sexual harassment and criminal intimidation against the chief of the country's wrestling federation, a powerful member of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), following complaints by female wrestlers. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, a member of parliament from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party, faces up to 3 years in jail if convicted. The wrestlers began a sit-in protest against the lack of action in April and were briefly detained by police in New Delhi as they cleared the site the following month. The case has caused an international furore. Two-time Oscar winner Glenda Jackson, who mixed acting with politics, dies at 87. British actress and former politician Glenda Jackson, known for her roles in Women in Love and A Touch of Class, has died at age 87. Jackson, who was also a two-time Academy Award winner, had a second career in politics as a member of Britain's Labour Party. She served as a Member of Parliament for over 20 years before returning to acting in 2015. Jackson was known for her fierce political activism, including her staunch opposition to the Iraq War. She will be remembered as a trailblazer who paved the way for other actors to pursue political careers.